Hey, hey, everybody. Are we here? Are we live? Let us know in chat if you can hear us and if we are live so I can then have my host introduce themselves.
Oh, I got a notification. Writing Mom Samantha Nasset is live, so maybe you are. Who knows?
Cool. Well, we'll see. I should check on my phone. I just saw somebody said at this point, what is weather? Hello, I'm seeing some hellos. So hi. Sometimes there's lag from when it starts.
Yeah.
All right. So we are sprint number 16 of the worldwide Writeathon. Unfortunately, Keylin isn't here. I don't know if she's going to be here. There were some pretty bad storms where she is, speaking of weather. And so she wasn't sure if her internet would hold up. Maybe we'll see her, maybe we won't. It's a mystery. We have a last minute replacement guest though, so we're good. All right, introduce yourselves. You start since you're on the top row.
No.
Yes.
Okay, so I am Chris Caballero, and I like writing fantasy and urban fantasy stories. Uh, Samantha L. Nasset is my lady wife, so that makes me writing dad, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so it's me, and that's really about it. That's it. Stig or Jackie.
My name is Stig. I'm a writer and a professional hot mess. I currently dressed as an emo boy George. I write fantasy and science fiction, and I'm currently working on my debut novel, which I will be writing on tonight. Tonight. It is midday. Today, I mean.
Hi, I'm Jackie. I write fantasy and sometimes science fiction. I've also written under a pen name, which I'm kind of giving up on just now. But yeah, I've had a couple of kids' science fiction novels published. And that's pretty much me.
Hey, oh, I see Keylin. Hey,
Morning,
hey,
everyone.
Hello.
I'm very in the dark here. The light went out in the room that I'm in, so I've got like one light off in the corner. So this is kind of, I guess, on Halloween theme. No.
It's looking very spooky.
All right, so you came just in time. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Keylin. I write fantasy and science fiction. I apologize for being a little bit late. We've been having intermittent power here. I'm out in the country in Quebec. So if I do drop off, I apologize. I'm hoping, knock on wood, there's no technical difficulties. And everybody kind of is a little bit frozen right now. So if I freeze, please let me know.
Okay. Your connection seems pretty stable. I think there may be a little bit of audio lag between when we were communicating, but we'll work around it. That's fine. And hi, this is my channel. I'm writing Mom Samantha L. Nasset. On my channel, I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer-parent things. You can find me on Insta, Twitter, Tumblr, just everywhere, Samantha L. Nasset. So, who wants to... Oh, and we are all dressed in Vampire Hunter von Helsing-esque attires. That was the theme we agreed on for the stream. Sorry. For those who don't know, everybody who's new to the channel, I am migraine prone, which means sometimes I have brain fog and I just kind of forget what I'm doing in the middle of a sentence. Please be patient while we, it reconnects my brain. Who wants to jump into a sprint then? Is everybody good with that? Cool, cool. I have to open a tab because I did not have one open. Oh, everybody! Did we say what we were working on?
I think I did.
No, I think we just introduced ourselves, but not what we're working on today.
Well, I think I'm the only one who didn't. So I'm working on critiquing for a critique partner.
I'm working on it. I've got this odd process of when it's new, but somebody suggested doing it and I really like it now, but I retype instead of going through for line edits and copy edits, because that's what I'm doing now. I actually have the old document open and the new document, and then I retype it. So that's what I'm doing.
Interesting. Okay, share screen.
I'm currently working on a short where some people in the woods meet up and they encounter the Hopkinsville goblins.
I'm just rearranging things. Oh, hey.
I'm working
there
on
it is.
a dark fantasy romance. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here trying. Something's gone wrong with my document.
You're fine. It happens. Hey,
Go
all
away.
right, chat. Go ahead. Let us know what you're working on, and we'll look at that along with everybody's, progress and check in when we come back. So this is my new timer. I made it today. I'm very overly proud of the very simple timer, but it's fine. So we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, and we're back. So I'm starting the break timer because I forgot to mention this earlier, but I do writing sprints on my channels on Mondays, and the way we do it is we have, we do a sprint, and then we have a break timer, and then we do another sprint. So that's how we're doing it today. How did everybody do? I got about half a page critiqued.
I did 4 words.
That's 4 more words than
I
you
got
had before.
I got about 360.
Oh, damn.
Nice.
I did some. I'm not exactly sure where I started, but I got both documents open, and one of them is very large, so that felt like a good win.
Yeah. How'd you do?
I don't know. I got some more of the scene done, but I'm tired too, Stig.
Oh,
And I
the
think
baby boy is tired.
and I'm a little hungover, so
Well, that's not my fault.
He was on this stream with Stig earlier, and he drank a little bit of liquid courage. So then he took a nap, and now it's not gelling with him. All right, so people are appreciating Keelin's Halloween game. Am I saying your
It's on theme for Halloween, that's for sure.
Am I saying your name right? Is it Keylin?
Yep, Keylin.
Okay, cool.
There is a giant window in front of me, and the sun is starting to rise here, so eventually the light will start pouring in, and it will no longer be Halloween themed, but
The illusion will break.
yeah. Although I did my hair for the like, I was thinking like slicked back hair for the like vampire hunter theme, and I was like, no one can see it now.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
I did like these nice braids, and then I'm like, which the headset's gonna cover? So, but I call the time when the sun's just coming up the ass crack of dawn.
I love it. So good.
Okay, somebody asked why retype it. They're curious as to the advantage of that.
So these were 2 tricks that I recently learned. So I've never done the retype other than if I'm like writing a completely brand new draft and I'm tossing out the first one. But the retype is to find errors. Just because when you read, you can like gloss over errors, but if you actually have to retype it, you won't gloss over them. And then the second trick that I learned that I have tried, and I haven't done it like fully done it yet, but I'm going to do it after this retype, is I know somebody who reads their chapters backwards. So they read the last paragraph and then the second last paragraph, and that's to take your head out of trying to do, I don't know, I find when I'm doing edits, sometimes I get caught up in the developmental stuff, even though it should be over. Like I'm like, oh, what if I just change this? So that's to get your mind out of thinking like through the plot and actually just focus on the words, the like backwards edits. So I'm going to try that too. But the retype seems to be really working for me, just for catching like little errors or sentences that don't make sense.
I have heard of the going backwards thing. The retype sounds like a nightmare to me just because I'm dyslexic, and I'm like, I would make different errors than the first time that I wrote it. So
that's what I'm super nervous about, making different errors. We'll see.
I hope it goes well though.
I haven't heard of the going backwards thing, but that sounds quite interesting. That would certainly keep you focused on what you're supposed to be doing.
Yep. I thought it was so interesting when someone passed that along. I was like, whoa, you're right. Because you can't, like, when you do that, you can really only focus on the actual text. Like, you can't really focus on character development, plot, whatever it is, because you're not going in order, and it makes no sense.
So CB is working on a Marvel fanfic with Pepper Potts, Tony Stark, and surprisingly, I don't like Captain America. Not sure why, but okay. I'm outlining a fantasy novel. Oh, yes, then Stig. Not things. Sorry, the brain fog hit hard. Working on finishing the outline for their second, for Whip 1, and continuing an outline for Whip 2. There are sticky notes on my wall. Oh, yes, sticky notes. Did you make a decision in the 20 minutes we were away? I wish for an update if that is all right. Whip 1's an epic fantasy. Cool, cool. Setting. Yes, I saw you answered here. My bad. I had not caught up. Ooh, more fan fiction writing? Is this fan fiction hour? Was I not informed?
Well, it is in the middle of the night for you Americans, isn't it?
It's
Or the crack at the dawn?
It's 6:30 on the East Coast and 2:30 on the West Coast.
Question mark.
Yes. I'm towards the East Coast, so yes. Thank you for the reminder, because I will never remember to say it. So everybody, hit the like button. An urban fantasy. Oh, it's Thanksgiving in Canada. Happy Turkey Day, Canadians.
That's actually why we're out in the country this weekend. So I live in Montreal, but because of Thanksgiving, and there's certain restrictions on like gatherings in like larger areas right now, where we were like, let's go to the country for the long weekend. But power is, a storm hits and then power becomes an issue.
Why is Canada celebrating Thanksgiving? Isn't that like a pilgrim thing?
Yeah. Honestly,
this is just purely my European ignorance. I'm sorry.
Honestly, I don't know that much about Canadian Thanksgiving. My understanding is the reason it's earlier in the year is because our harvest ends earlier in the year because winter is coming.
If I remember my history correctly, which I might not, because we were only vaguely taught about Canadian history, and that's that Canada and the USA pretty much have like a parallel thing with certain events in history, and they were like colonized by France around the same time America was colonized by England. And so like they basically did the same thing. And so that's why they both have a Turkey Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what she said.
It was basically all the same. It was basically all the same thing until
I think we even had
the states had their independence.
There are a few wars that like Canada has like their version and we have our version that also kind of run along the same decades. It's actually, it was very fascinating when I learned about it. I was like, we're just basically two siblings that just developed about the same, just their own versions of things. So
yeah. I think one of the things Canada is getting better at, I don't know about what the States does for celebrating Thanksgiving, but Canada is improving at, recognizing some of the atrocities that were committed against like the First Nations people of Canada. So there's a lot of educational stuff that happens on Thanksgiving weekend now, which like didn't happen 5-10 years ago, which I think is really something that Canada's improving on, at least a little bit.
Same. That's part of why I just say Turkey Day instead of Thanksgiving.
I think Turkey Day is a great, yes, we should just switch it to Turkey Day.
'tis a good day to eat turkey with your family. Okay, so 550 words. Yes. 560. Handwrote 2 pages. I haven't used the pen in such a long time. I'm trying to remember how to use it. I feel that when I started handwriting things again. 102.
Sticking with the pointy end.
300 and some formatting of documents. I love formatting. I like paperwork. Oh. 274 words and feeling so great about. I hope that was genuine and not sarcastic, because I gave it a very genuine tone about the chapter so far.
I was sprinting with a lady in one of the Facebook groups I'm in, and it was just a 20-minute sprint, and she does 1,000 words every 20 minutes. And she was saying that nobody really wants to sprint with her because they all feel so useless compared to her. She says, I just type fast, I don't know what I'm typing. And she says, but nobody wants to sprint with me.
I'll sprint with her because I have the same problem. Like, I'm rusty now, so I don't sprint or I don't type that much, but I used to type that much, like 6, 7 years ago. And so, like, my friends would be like, I don't want to. And I'm like, it's not a competition. Just write with me, damn it. So.
Yeah, she was grateful. It didn't seem that bothering. I went, you write at whatever speed you can. You're getting words in. That's all that matters.
Exactly. Even if it's just one word, that's one more word than you had before.
Exactly.
So Tofu Day is, I think, the vegetarian-friendly version of Turkey Day. So there's that. Impossible turkey? I don't know.
Imagine writing 1,000 words in 20 minutes.
I know, that would be great, wouldn't it?
What do you do with powers like that?
Not write a book, I guess.
Is it Chris Fox that has a book out? Is it 5K in an hour?
Yeah, I've
Five
things about that.
You're like, yeah.
I'm the one who gave him some of the conflicting things about that.
Yeah. One of my other CPs also is currently making like a review on it, and I don't know, she wasn't impressed.
Yeah, I listened to it, and a lot of it, I was like, this is just very basic writing advice. It's like it's really good if you're like new, or if you don't already have some of the writing habits and stuff built up. But like, for me, I've been pursuing writing as a passion and career choice since I was like 12 or 13. So one of his tips is to outline, and I'm like, why, yes, I do this. And he's like, and then use little sprints to build up your speed. And I'm like, so you gain practice and experience. Yes, this is also good advice. And so by the time I got through the book, I was just like, I've learned nothing. And I was so saddened. But I have that struggle with a lot of craft books, so. But like, I heard I got it because I heard a bunch of other people raving for it. So there are like some good advice in there for people.
I tend to just take all the advice and then just work it to whatever way I want it to work.
Yes.
Because I think that's the best way to do it. What works for one person doesn't work for somebody else. You just go, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'll do it my way.
I 100% agree with that. That's like in a lot of my videos, because I make a lot of videos talking about just writing and stuff. One of the things that I try to always say is that like writing is like your writing style and your writing habits are personal. And so like not all advice is applicable for everybody. Like some people write every day. Some people say write every day. I can't write every day because I'm a stay-at-home mom. So I'm like, just can't do it. But I can marathon write. Like I can start writing at like 8 in the morning and then just write until like I go to bed at 2 in the morning. So I can do that. But I know some people who can only write for like 2-3 days 2-3 days 2-3 hours 2-3 hours tops, and then they're done for the day. So it just depends on the
it's
person.
whatever works for you.
I usually watch a bunch of videos on the topic, or like read a bunch of craft books, and then Frankenstein my own method.
Mhm.
Keylin, Chris, either of you?
I also don't write every day. I'm a marathon writer. Typically when I get my like highest word counts. So, but for writing faster in sprints, gosh, if I could do 1,000 words in 20 minutes, oh,
Power overwhelming.
I could. I think my like record for a 25-minute sprint was like 850 words, and when the sprint was over,
Dang.
I saw it and I was like, "Oh my goodness, if I could do that every single time," and I haven't been able to replicate. So
One
Yeah.
day, I believe
one
in you.
day, one day.
What about you over there?
You know, I don't know. I've been out of the game for too long, so I don't really have a good opinion on it. I do. I don't know. I do think you should write every day, but I'm not talking about like. I don't know. I think it's good to maybe squeeze in like 10 minutes. Be a little productive. But I mean, there's that. But if you can marathon right, that's good.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Because you're still drunk?
No,
He's very tired.
I feel your pain, Chris. I feel your pain. It's cool.
you should have took a nap.
But Sam was so entertaining to talk to, so I didn't want to leave her.
He does have a very big problem at leaving calls. I have to be the one to leave them.
Yeah, but he never calls me.
You don't like talking to people on call.
No, I just see how it is.
Shit stirrer.
So yeah, you just gotta do what works for you, and yeah, the rest of that sentence was good. I used to write 1K in 30 minutes easy, but I stopped writing for a couple. That's where I'm at, because I stopped writing when we had kids, and I would write every now and then just so I didn't get like ancient rusty, and now I'm working back up to it. Ooh,
I don't
10K
write
in a
every day,
day.
and I don't marathon. So slow and steady wins the race, I guess. 3 words at a time.
10K in a day is nice.
I like doing those 10K word challenge days that Courtney does. I find them easy to do because I live alone and I've no distractions. I've no children. They're all grown up and gone. It's great.
I also live alone, but I am the distraction.
That's fair.
So yeah, I do get easily distracted, but on those days I try and focus and I have all my snacks and everything sorted out to try and keep my energy level all day.
Yeah.
It's just
I've
an
done some
excuse
over 10K days. Done some over oh god, words. I've done some over 10K days, and I think the most I've done is 5K. On one of them, it's a Saturday she does it.
I do it on my own day. It's usually a Monday when I've finished and I've not got any work.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't know. I'd lose myself trying to write 10,000 words. That's like a lot. I'd have to have a plan.
I usually
Alright.
go in with an outline though.
I love doing 10K days. But I think that goes back to the like marathonness of the way in which I write.
Right? I'm like, that sounds so good. If I had a day where I could just dedicate time.
Yep.
I would do it.
I think I'd be like Stig. I'd like write 200 words and then I'd watch YouTube for like 3 hours.
Excuse you. You don't need to come for me this hard. I am your friend.
I didn't say TikTok.
I have deleted
He was-
and uninstalled TikTok, so it's cool. I no longer waste time on it.
He
Have
was
you gone
trying
down the
to
TikTok
write.
rabbit hole too?
Oh my god,
TikTok?
like 5 hours in bed just watching TikTok, and I'm like, oh, that's that day gone. Bye.
I did
He
that on.
used-
All I was gonna say was on Friday night. It was like 10 p.m. and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna like go to bed now." And I was up until 2:30 watching TikTok.
Yep, relatable.
There were days when Stig would like message me. He's like, "Okay, I'm going to bed now," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." And then like 3 hours later, he sends me a TikTok, and I'm like, "Sir, you're still
Yeah,
awake."
yeah, he said he'd be going to sleep, and then I'm like, I'm up, and then I see his icon still green on Facebook, and I'm like, man, I thought you said you were going to bed. And he's like, TikTok. I'm like, man, come on.
In my
TikTok,
defense,
yeah,
I do go to bed. I just don't go to sleep.
whatever.
All right, let's go into our next sprint.
You going to?
Yes.
All right, 3, 2, 1, Iggy go. And we're back.
I heard the bomb for the first time.
Did you?
Oh, that was nice.
So, how did everybody do? I finished the page I was on and started critiquing another.
I did 380 words.
I did about 350. That's my usual for a 20-minute sprint.
I did 267, but I was trying to rewrite one sentence over and over and over again, and
That
I couldn't
happens
just get it
sometimes.
right.
I didn't write anything. I deleted something, and then you told me something about Bly Manor, and then I got stuck.
It is a really good show, though. I am enjoying it.
Chat, how did you do?
I think it was actually Stig's fault because you said Stig told you.
I did what
and
now?
So it all
About
falls
the
back onto Stig.
dad actor who plays the uncle.
Oh, yeah. The old dad from season 1 is the uncle in season 2.
It sent Chris down a rabbit hole looking at all the actors from season 1. The Haunting of
Which show
Bly
is
Manor.
this?
It's the second
haven't
season,
seen it.
technically, of the Haunting series. The first one's The Haunting of Hill House. If you're into horror, I highly recommend them. They're really good.
Gonna
Oh my
have
god,
to
The
check
Haunting of
it
Hill
out. Yeah,
House is
for
so
sure.
good. One
And
of
he's
my
still the little
favorite
boy from
shows,
me.
I think.
I've only
What
heard
was the
amazing
first
things.
one?
I haven't watched
Sorry.
it yet, though.
The Haunting of Hill House.
That was it. You just said that and I forgot.
That's me all the time. I forget things that I say before I
Yeah,
even
it's just-
finish them sometimes.
I forget the end of my sentence. And you start talking and you're like, wait, where was I going with that?
It's like I had a sentence. There was a thing I was going to say. Who knows?
I'm like, oh, something shiny.
Alright, we did 145 in editing. Yeah, 739.
739.
391. Woohoo! 270. 477, and I broke 10K. Aw, yeah!
Congrats!
Yay!
I'm okay with sounding like Winnie the Pooh. Still fleshing out the plot over here after adding traditional. Sorry, my hair is tickling my nose, and I'm trying to find the strand tickling my nose. It keeps moving. Adding traditional scenes and whatnot. Woohoo! 224. Aw, yeah. I forgot to start the break timer because I'm pro.
I mean, I think you're the first one to have a break timer so far on the streams, so you're ahead of the curve, Sam.
I do what I do.
You do what you do. You do it
Yes.
well.
I know whenever people and I do things differently, I usually go, "You do you, boo," and I'm like, I can't turn that on me. It's like I do me, boo. That doesn't work the same way. Right, so we are at the hour 12-minute mark, and these are supposed to be about an hour and a half. So I think we have time for the 15-minute break and then one more 20-minute sprint. Is everybody down with that?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
What?
We're going to do one more sprint after the break's done.
We stop at 6:30.
Yeah, there's only
Sort
15
of.
minutes left.
Yeah, there's
Oh.
only 15 minutes left.
Shh, I can math.
I just agreed with you. Yeah, fine.
Yeah. I think fine too, because I think there's a half-hour break between.
Yeah,
all
I
the
was going to say,
sprints, right?
technically the other one doesn't start till 7, so we could still do it if chat wants to, and if everybody else wants to.
Technically correct is the best kind of correct, so.
We don't like you bringing our sprint game down, y'all. So, this is random and off topic, but this side of my coat has like a normal pocket, and then this side of my coat has like this one pocket, so my hands are crooked in my jacket, and I'm like, I don't know how, why, jacket, why?
It's a hard enough
How
life.
many sprints are after this? And actual.
Uh,
You're
18.
one,
Oh,
is it?
there's
So
Two
two
left.
more after this. There are 18 in
And then
total.
the closing chat.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the costume party, which I'll be attending with Jess.
Yes.
I'll be in my bed.
It's 1 a.m. for me, so
I'll be there in spirit.
appreciate it.
I'll probably be sleeping at 6, and I haven't slept yet. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have a full cycle of sleep before that, so don't you worry.
in between each sprint, my brain is all like, and it's sleep time, but thankfully during the sprint, since I'm critiquing, my brain goes, oh, words to judge. So wakes right up.
Wakes right up. Yeah. I feel like I got a nice break because the power went out. I was like, the power's out, I can't do anything.
Power's out. Time to take a power nap.
Yeah. It was kind of great. I mean, other than the fact I was a co-host on one of the sprints yesterday and the power went out 5 minutes before, and it wasn't just the power, it was like the like all of the 3G and stuff in the area too was going so slow because of the storm, and I was like, I couldn't get on to email anyone. I think actually, Sam, I think this was when I emailed you because I was like, I have no idea what tomorrow's gonna be like.
Yeah, I went to check my email because I'm like, oh, I want to tag them on Instagram. I need to go make sure what their Instagrams are. And then I saw your email and I'm like, oh, hello.
I feel bad too because I probably sent you like a couple in a row. I was like,
Oh, you're fine.
yeah. But it's all good. Power's back.
Yes, having power is good. We live in kind of like a small city in the country, not country. We're in Tennessee. So just about any time a big storm comes through, anything like technical with Wi-Fi at all is just kind of like a 50-50 whether or not it's going to, work or lag or anything. The stream after this one is Sako Tumi. And after her is Lizelle Sambury. Hope I said those right.
I think it's Lizelle.
I'm trying to find my pockets again.
As a matter of interest, does anybody write in a genre they don't actually read in? I've seen something like that on Facebook. A lot of people, they don't write the genre they read. They read a lot of the genre they write in.
To be honest, I'd be very, very skeptical because one way you learn to write your genre is to read your genre. So it's like,
what? I'm thinking Tennessee.
So I'd be like, well, okay, but do you write good books in that genre? That's what I need to know.
How do you learn tropes and stuff if you aren't familiar with a genre?
Yeah. That's what I kind of thought.
Yeah.
Well, here's another question. Do you read the genre you're writing at the time you're writing? If you're writing a high fantasy, do you write in high fantasy or do you change it, your reading, so it doesn't... You don't accidentally take the idea.
Yeah, well, I do. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just read whatever I want to read, and I tend to read the genres that I write because that's just what I like, and so that's what I lean towards. I don't really avoid reading the genre that I'm gonna write while I'm writing because that's how you learn your genre. That's how you figure out what works in the genre and what doesn't work in the genre, what you like, what you don't like. So
See, I'm a little bit different. I write fantasy, and when I'm in drafting mode, like not so much editing, but when I'm in drafting mode, I cannot read fantasy because it doesn't actually I've at first thought it made me like, because it sparks a lot of ideas, and so like I'm like, oh, maybe we could do this or maybe we could do this, but I think it also makes me very insecure about what I'm writing, so I can't read in the same genre as I'm like writing it, even though it's my favorite genre to read.
Interesting.
I'll read before and I'll read after and but
Mhm.
as I'm drafting, I can't do it. One, because
about-
like too many ideas that are going off, and then two, because it just, I'm like, oh, it's either they're never going to be good at this, and that's not a game I want to play. So
Sounds reasonable. What about you, Jackie?
I tend to. I try. I try not to read in the same genre at the time, but
yeah,
if I do, I don't find it really affects my writing that much. So I hate sometimes. So you think you've had this brilliant idea and you're writing it, and then you read this book and it's got kind of the same thing, and you're like, "Damn it! I have the idea." So it's like, fine, I'll have to change it now. Those moments I don't like.
I live by the philosophy that 100 writers can be given the same prompt and write 100 different stories. So no matter if you or somebody else on the other side of the world has the same idea, they can't write it the same way you do. So I just write what I want to write. Somebody out there will enjoy it with me.
totally agree with that. Totally agree with that.
Same. Execution has a lot to say for an ID, so.
I write in 3 genres, but read in a lot more. Ah, yes. Well versed, this one. I read and write fan fiction and only fan fiction because a lot of books have very small print and they can cause migraines. This is fair.
Fan fiction is gold. I love fan fiction.
That's how I started writing.
Me too.
So an interesting thing about e-readers and e-reader apps and migraines is you can actually change the background color. And for most migraine sufferers, if you change it to green, it helps with eye strain and lessens or helps just prevent a migraine from reading.
Isn't green also good for people with dyslexia? So remember somebody taking exams and they had to do it in green paper because it helped somehow.
I didn't know that, but I have chronic migraines and dyslexia, and I just know that like literally my document that I'm reading and critiquing in right now is green because it gives me absolutely. I also misread and catch more when the background is green. So it could very well be connected to dyslexia too. I just did it for my migraines.
I just find that sort of thing interesting, how changing a colour can just help, in the vision sort of thing.
Yeah. I agree. It's very fascinating. Also, fonts. There's a font called Open Dyslexic, which the bottom of the letters are more like weighted and the top of them are like lighter. So it keeps the letters like anchored visually for a lot of dyslexics and makes it easier to read.
Guess what I'm going to be researching when I come over here?
Yeah, me too.
Everybody's gonna be like the next stream. Everyone's just like, so what's everyone up to? Researching green. I didn't know about the green background. Is it like dark green? My document is kind of like in all honesty, kind of like a light puke green. It's not an aesthetically pleasing shade, but it works. So it is what it is. But I tend to like darker greens myself, and they also seem to work. Oh, ebooks are electronic books. So it's like you can get a Kindle or a Nook or something app for your phone, and you can get books that way. I actually have Libby, which is a library app, so I can check out ebooks from my library and audiobooks. Much fun.
We support free books.
So, have you tried switching out fonts while writing? I have heard some writing advice that if you write in one font and then edit in another font, it will also help you catch editing errors. And
That's
comics
cool.
and Comic Sans actually looks very similar to Open Dyslexia. So
I have done the Comic Sans trick, and it really enough works. I don't know science behind it, but it's like it's too ugly to dwell with it, so you just have to move on. But it actually works, so that's pretty cool. I used it for my my 10K day. That was a 5K for me.
So you're actually not that much older than me. I'm 30. $5.88. I have woke up fully now. I have evolved.
Good morning, Ashley.
Oh yes, we have Overdrive here too. It and Libby are friends. I just like Libby's UI better.
I can't wait. I don't know where everyone's at, but libraries here are now closed again, I believe. And I can't wait for the day where I can go back. I used to love going and writing in libraries all day. That was like my favorite thing. And I'm counting down the day I can go back to a library.
I live next door to a library, which hasn't closed for COVID. There's no COVID in the state, I guess, that I live in. So I might try and write there, just for the pretentiousness of it.
Just for the pretentiousness.
Well, I think we're heading for a second lockdown, so the libraries will be shut here pretty shortly.
Okay, so Fire Ivy says, I have a dyslexia test and there were multiple colors available to help with reading. Blue, purple, and yellow plastic sheets were available. So maybe the color that helps might depend on the individual, because dyslexia is a range and different people experience it very differently. Like between me and my mom, we experience dyslexia really differently. So that would make sense that different colors help different people. Welcome to our Dyslexia, Migraine, and Colors TED Talk.
101.
And that's the break timer. Is everybody ready for our final sprint?
Yes.
All right. For our final timer, we have this,
So cute.
this very sophisticated pup.
It looks like I feel.
All right. And here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. And we're back.
I'm like, where the fuck did that dog come from? This was the timer, I realized.
Yep. Did Jackie disappear?
Oh, she did.
I think so.
Well, hopefully everything's okay.
Bye,
Internet
Jackie.
issues. All right, so the next stream is supposed to start in like 12 minutes. Everybody, go ahead, do your outros.
I need to come up with a better outro and intro. Some people have like the best intros and outros, and I'm like always in awe. But I guess I can go. My name's Keylin, everybody. I write science fiction and fantasy. I'm also here on YouTube, so if you want to come along for the journey, please do.
And my name is Stig, and I'm a writer and a professional hot mess. I write science fiction and fantasy, and I'm currently working on my first novel, which is a space opera mystery with a little science and a lot of fiction.
And I am Chris. I'm Samantha's other half, and I write fantasy and urban fantasy. And I'm not on YouTube, but you can find me on Twitter where I just post a lot of dumb shit. So there's that. Also Instagram, where I don't post.
There's that.
And I am writing mom Samantha L. Nasset. I hear myself echoing.
Oh, you got muted.
Okay. And I am writing mom Samantha L. Nasset. On my channel, I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer parent things. I also host write and live streams on Mondays. Most of the time we do sprints. Sometimes we do Let's Talks. It's a fun time. So yeah, I also post videos on Wednesdays. You can find me at any of the links down below. You can also find my co-host down below. Thank you for writing with us, and hope to see